This is a two-stage liquid rocket, fully fueled. If you ignite the engines at the bottom and launch it straight up, the rocket will keep accelerating towards space. But after it climbs beyond 100 kilometers in altitude, it still won't reach orbital velocity, so Earth's gravity pulls it right back down, and it falls along a ballistic arc, ultimately crashing and breaking apart. So you think, why not fly eastward? Earth rotates from west to east, so by launching in the same direction as the spin, the rocket gets a free speed boost from the planet's rotation, saving a huge amount of propellant. About 160 seconds into flight, the rocket reaches an altitude of roughly 60 kilometers. By then, the first stage has burned through all its fuel. The stages separate. The second stage engine ignites and continues accelerating until it hits the orbital insertion speed of 9 kilometers per second, sending its satellite payload precisely into the intended low Earth orbit. But by that point, the first stage has already plunged into the ocean, completely written off. In other words, every launch requires a brand new first stage, so costs remain stubbornly high. Then a clever idea strikes. Why not reserve a portion of the first stage's fuel, and during descent reignite the engine for a retro-braking burn, turning it from a disposable booster into a controllable, returnable vehicle. Add retractable landing legs to the bottom, and you can slow it down gradually and set it down vertically, smoothly. After refurbishment, it can fly again. That would slash launch costs dramatically. But here's the catch. By the time the stages separate, the rocket has already flown more than 300 kilometers eastward, over open ocean, with no solid ground in sight. If you want to turn around and fly back to the launch site, you first have to cancel out all that eastward inertial speed, then fly hundreds of kilometers west, burning massive extra fuel. That eats into the propellant meant for the payload, so the number of satellites the rocket can carry shrinks accordingly. Not cost-effective at all. So you think, build an ocean recovery platform, land the rocket on it, then tow it back to shore. That saves the return fuel. But the sea isn't solid ground. Waves keep the platform bobbing and swaying. The slightest misalignment can tip the rocket over and wreck it. That demands very calm sea conditions, and, more critically, the cost problem remains. First, you still have to set aside fuel for the braking burn. Then add the landing legs and hydraulic shock absorbing mechanisms, nearly 2 tons of pure dead weight that rides the whole way up without producing any thrust. That not only eats into payload capacity, but every rocket also needs its own landing system, driving up per rocket manufacturing costs while actually reducing its lifting capability. Then another bright idea hits. Build a tower structure on the recovery platform, fitted with a high-strength arresting net. Use LiDAR sensors at the platform's 4 corners to track the rocket's position and attitude in real time, automatically steering the net to align with the vehicle. That widens the landing tolerance to tens of meters. At the same time, the rocket's guidance system talks to the radar network, adjusting its trajectory. When both are aligned and the rocket drops into the net's opening, a hook on the rocket snags the net. Capture complete. Then an automated locking vehicle moves under the rocket, clamps it securely, and fastens it to the deck. And with that, congratulations, you've just invented the sea-based net capture recovery system for launch vehicles. This approach completely ditches the landing legs. In effect, it shifts the hardware cost and technical complexity of recovery from each individual rocket to a reusable maritime platform that serves as a permanent ground facility. This recovery platform can be adapted to different rocket models. No need to develop custom landing legs and shock-absorbing systems for every variant. Even small aerospace companies with limited technical and financial resources can achieve reusable launch capability by sharing the same recovery platform. This globally pioneering, differentiated technical pathway not only dramatically lowers the barrier to entry for reusable rockets, but also offers a brand new solution for cost-effective commercial spaceflight.